Hello everyone, Storm11 here. Today we'll be talking about what could be going on over the next couple days. We'll probably talk a little about long-range forecasting as well. We'll also talk a little about the tropics as well. So let's go ahead and get started with the GFS model here. What's been going on for the past couple days? Well, as some people may know of, we did have three tornadoes that happened across parts of North Carolina yesterday. We even have a couple tornado warnings in parts of South Carolina today. Did have some severe weather across parts of the Mid-Atlantic region here. Have a decent squall line there. We did have some isolated severe a little further back to the west as well, which I did do a little bit storm chasing today. Did get a severe warned storm, but not much of anything really to talk about that storm, other than very heavy rain, wind gusts, 40 miles an hour. Not really a big deal or anything. But I did get a good uh, time lapse video today. Unfortunately, the phone died before the big sunset, which if you guys haven't seen on Twitter, there was a big time sunset earlier this evening. But if you guys do want to see the sunset pictures, I have in the description down below a link to my Twitter if you guys want to see it. Unfortunately, some of you guys do not like it, but I think it's because you guys want to see the sunset. If you guys want to see the sunset, it's on my Twitter, and the link will be in the description down below. Let's kind of talk about what's going to be happening in the future here. Again, severe weather will start to diminish across parts of the east. I believe there is a marginal risk for severe weather across parts of the Carolinas and Virginia tomorrow. It's a marginal risk, not going to be too big of a deal there. But we're starting to get in this type of pattern here where we'll have a high pressure system, which is kind of off the screen here, a map. Um, High pressure system will be building across parts of the east here, and all it's going to do, it's going to bring tons of moisture up here. Precipitable water numbers will be pretty high for this time of year. What's precipitable water is the moisture in the atmosphere, and it's going to be survey flow here. There's going to be some well above normal temperatures across the north here, although there will be some below average temperatures across parts of the southern plains as well, which we'll take a look to the Climate Prediction Center's outlook here in just a moment. But we're also going to see a couple systems around the Montana area as well, and that might have some severe weather activity a little east of that. But it really kind of begins, really the weekend's staying mostly quiet here. But when we get to Monday here, that's when we start to see your typical summertime weather here. Hot, humid, thunderstorms, popcorn storms. You may get a couple strong storms here and there, but it's just your typical summer pattern. You'll have quite a bit of instability here. It will spark up some thunderstorms. Some people may see rain, some people will not. It's going to be pretty much scattered in nature here across a good chunk of the eastern United States. And again, some people see some rain, some people won't. Like one person may see maybe an inch of rain and a few miles down the road, somebody may not see nothing. That's just how popcorn storms pretty much are during the summertime. Some people see rain, some people will not. Continue on, so that was Monday. As we kind of go into a little bit into Tuesday night, you got a low pressure system up across parts of Montana. We even got that 540 line into parts of Washington and Oregon. Possibly mountain snow, perhaps. Actually, starting to see some snow in the mountains of British Columbia there. That's interesting. We did have some well below average temperatures across parts of the Ohio Valley Northeast a few days ago during my graduation. Late May, low 50s for highs. Record temperatures. Not for record heat, but record cold. I mean, for highs. It was pretty ridiculous there. I mean, we beat the record cold by a few degrees. I mean, it was crazy there. I wish it would have been warmer, but it's just the way it is. And then kind of getting into Wednesday night, scattered showers, some thunderstorms mixed in Over a good check of the United States here, that low pressure system moves out of the United States, moves into Canada. And then you kind of get these weak low pressure systems around that can spark up some thunderstorms in some places. And then we kind of have to maybe watch this next system here. We're getting pretty far out. This is now 10 days out. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. Low pressure system here, weak low pressure system here. Got a front out here. We'll see if severe storms may be a possibility along that front there. We'll watch that. And then La La Land. And wow, it shows a tropical system there. Hey, it's hurricane season. Since we are past June 1st, it's actually June 3rd. So we're now in hurricane season. It's time to watch the tropics again. Which, good news is, it's not going to be as active as last season. Last season was very active, as everyone knows, as well. That's the GFS models. Check out the European model. You can see here, yeah, it's going to be in that time of year where we're also going to see these MCSs here. And you can see here the European model does indicate an MCS in southeastern Texas. It's that time of year during the summertime. You get MCSs or derechos. And most of the time they happen kind of in these general areas in here. And even for some of these areas down here as well. And some of these places on average get a derecho per year. And as we kind of continue on here, we'll have a couple low pressure systems be going on across parts of the northern Rockies. And check out all this shower thunderstorm activity here. Your typical summertime weather, hot, humid, and with isolated scatter thunderstorms. And it looks like high pressure system just kind of sits there over the Smoky Mountains there as well, indicated about the European model. And it's pretty much the pattern here. Plus, we got to watch this front here, kind of into 10-day periods here. Looks like we may have a little bit of a surface front here, and that may spark up some thunderstorms there. That's really about it. Not much going on indicated by the models. Just your general pattern here. Summertime weather, uh, hot, humid, chance of showers and thunderstorms about every day. You get a couple low pressure systems across parts of the northwest, warm and dry across the southwest, and a similar situation for the northeast as well. The tropics, quiet in the Atlantic. A little bit of a different story in the eastern Pacific. We actually got a tropical depression, Valencia. Highly doubt that's definitely not how you pronounce it. And we also got disturbance 1, next 5 days, 30%. No threat to land, and this is not expected to strengthen into a tropical storm, which we did have a couple of tropical storms in the eastern Pacific so far as well. So overall, the tropics is mostly quiet. Let's check out the CFS weekly model. I really like this model a lot. It does a pretty good job in the short range and even the 8 to 14 days. It's done pretty well this year. So let's take a look at that. And you can see here for over the next couple days here, you can see here ridging across the northeast, ridging across parts of California and Nevada, and a little bit troughing across parts of the northeast, northwest. And you even got some troughing going on across parts of the southern plains as well. How does this compare to precipitation? And you can see here, pretty wet across parts of the south here. As you can see there, dry across parts of the Rockies, the plains, even to parts of the northeast as well. It's even indicating some above average precipitation across parts of North Dakota and Minnesota. Those places actually really need some rain right now, which we'll actually take a look at the drought monitor in just a moment. But hopefully that verifies there because they definitely need some rain up there. And there's other places that need as much rain as North Dakota does, which we'll take a look to the drought monitor in just a moment. But in the 8 to 14 days, it's pretty wet across the southeast. A little bit wet across parts of North Dakota and northern Minnesota. Everywhere else is basically either normal or dry, a little bit dry as well. And then 15 to 21 days, we kind of get into that northwest flow action here. We may have to monitor this area here for any potential for MCS or derechos. It's that time of year for that. You can see here in the 500 millibar anomalies here, you do have that northwest flow going on here. Definitely need to monitor that area for any potential for, again, MCS or derechos. We'll go back to 8 to 14 days, and you can see a pretty similar scenario here. Northwest flow going on here. And typically, most of the time, most of your MCSs and derechos are on a northwest flow. So just to keep in mind of that. And then you kind of get into that typical summertime pattern. Strong ridging out here. Northwest flow. Prints like this. Pretty similar to last year as well. And pretty much the summertime will pretty much look like that as well. So let's take a look at the Climate Prediction Center's outlook here. And again, very warm across the northern two-thirds of the United States. A little bit below average for parts of northwestern California, at least on the coast, and far southwestern Oregon. Then you got another area down here across a good chunk of Texas here, and even into parts of western Louisiana. And you got another small area across, really around the Miami area and Fort Lauderdale area down there as well in Florida. Meanwhile, everywhere else, pretty much warmth. How's this compared with precipitation? Well, it's looking to be decently wet across parts of really anywhere from southern Texas northeastward to parts of the Mid-Atlantic and the Ohio Valley. Looking to be a little bit wet, and it's looking a little bit dry across parts of a good chunk of the plains, at least the central and northern plains and the northern Rockies here are looking a little bit dry, which some of these places actually really need some rain here, especially this area in here, and a lot of these places in here really need some rain right now. Even the parts of New England there are looking dry. Even for parts of Florida and southeastern Georgia looking a little dry as well. How about 8 to 14 days? Pretty a little bit similar here, but your warmth does expand to coast here. I mean, anywhere from the west coast to the east coast, pretty much warm over the northern two-thirds of the United States here. Everybody's warm. And then you got parts of Texas, Louisiana, even for southeastern New Mexico, southern Oklahoma, southwestern Arkansas. Could be a little bit cooler than normal for 8 to 14 days there. Not ain't too bad. And then 8 to 14 day precipitation. A little bit wet across the south and dry across the north as well. Doesn't quite match with the CFS weekly model. Like if you guys seen here, a little bit wet across these areas in here. And the Climate Prediction Center does disagree with that solution, but we'll see what happens there. And lastly, we'll take a look into the Drought Monitor, and this was released today. I mean, check out this drought out west. I mean, it is terrible right now, this drought out here. And hopefully the drought will improve over the next few weeks. I mean, they desperately need some rain. And like I was talking about right in North Dakota, I mean, check that out. Definitely having some bad drought going on across parts of North Dakota. It is also getting a little bit dry across parts of the Midwest, the Corn Belt area, into parts of the Great Lakes. Even for around the Myrtle Beach area, parts of South Carolina, North Carolina, into parts of Virginia, also looking pretty dry as well. And even for parts of southern Florida as well, looking very dry as well. Meanwhile, everywhere else, you got scattered abnormally dry areas, but some of those places will likely improve here. But I'll say this here, definitely areas that are probably improving right now will be these areas in here. These areas have been getting a decent amount of rain, even these areas as well. Drought will likely be improving here over the next couple of days as well. Maybe even for parts of western Texas as well. They've been getting a decent amount of rain, even severe weather as well over the past couple of weeks. Severe weather season. How was it for severe weather season uh last season? Pretty below average. I mean, the tornado counts were about below average, but Texas, boy, they got most of the severe weather last season. They laid with the most hail reports. I think the Weather Channel said at least 500 hail reports. I think the second highest, I believe they said, was Oklahoma, was not even half of that, which is pretty insane. Despite having a couple of tornado outbreaks that happened across Dixie Alley, it's still a below average year. After that, we didn't have any tornado outbreaks. Plus, May was very quiet. Well, at least it was mostly quiet. I mean, activity, it was a little bit above normal. Right across these areas in here, I mean, especially across parts of Texas there, it's been active for some severe weather. And there's been a lot of photogenic tornadoes as well. And that's even though we got a below average tornado season, storm chasers out there got some very photogenic storms in tornado season. So overall, severe weather season was not that bad. However, there are some places out there that are well below average. We're talking about these areas in here, which some of these places recently got some severe weather, like parts of Kentucky. But some of these places have seen like no severe weather. I think the National Reserves of Wilmington said, I bet they said they have issued no severe thunderstorm warnings. I think they said they issued zero severe thunderstorm warnings. They issued nothing throughout the entire severe weather season. Which the National Reserve is in Wilmington, it's right here. And they cover pretty much in this general area in here approximately. And they issued no warnings or anything. Pretty crazy. And there's some places up here that's seen like no thunderstorm activity. I've seen people up across parts of Illinois, Indiana. They say they never had any thunderstorms. Maybe at least one, but mostly none. That's pretty insane here. And these places have seen well below average severe weather. And compared to my forecast, it was a complete bust for some of these places. But hey, it's pretty hard to make a forecast pretty far out, and that's kind of part of it. You're not going to win every single time, pretty much. But we'll see what the summer will bring here. Maybe some of these places may be able to see a couple MCS storms or derechos. We'll see what happens there. But so far, some of these places have not seen any severe weather at all. Plus, there's not even been any watches or anything across some of those places as well. But anyways, guys, that's all for you guys today. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys like this video, hit that like button. If you really do like my channel, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell notifications every minute an upload. If you guys have questions about this, you put a comment section down below. I'll answer you guys' questions. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.